All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So we're going to jump on into a storyline. This is kind of like a collective message, maybe a little bit specific, but it's what's been hidden is a question that I want to ask. And I say that because I did have like this vague, it was like somebody opening up like a treasure chest or a chest in the attic or something like that. But what was weird is like it was more like one of those kids' little treasure chests that would have, pirates' gold in it. But as it got open, I couldn't see what was in it. And so I was like, okay, I don't know that I would call this a specific message so much as just an inspiration for this storytelling. We have the Five of Swords. What has been hidden in this case? Okay, so maybe that chest is like, opening up somebody's heart. Because this is somebody who has normally the Five of Swords would be, fighting, arguing, wanting to win. But you notice that this person is dismal. This person is so freaking unhappy. It's like their heart is broken. They are crying. They are sad. They are unhappy. With that Five of Swords, somebody's been hiding how much this argument or this fight has cost them. We have the Two of Ashes, which is the Two of Wands. Hi, everyone. So great to see you. Eduardo Jimenez, how are you, love? Great to catch you. Hi, everybody. God, this person, what I think what's been hidden is like not only the heaviness and the utter like devastation. If somebody engaged in an argument back and forth, it has been a heavy toll on them because they keep wondering, did I handle this right? Could I have handled this different? Should I have said something else? What path could I or should I have taken? King of Wands. Is this somebody who wishes that they had shown their heart instead? And instead they got into a fight. Maybe they chose, look, we all sometimes choose the worst possible outcome. Yeah, we have the Enlightened. This basically judgment card here says, if only I had handled it different. I could have said I love you instead of something surly, something that perpetuated a fight. I'm guessing that what was hidden is just how either like upset they truly were. So maybe they said something kind of to be, I don't know. It feels like somebody made a punk move. When we're irritated about something and we speak like off the cuff, or we kind of act like we're going to say something on purpose to hurt somebody back. And then it's like, shit, why did I do that? It's not even what I wanted to say. It's not even what I wanted to do. It feels like somebody had the opportunity to say, like, I love you. I want to reconcile. I want all of this. And instead, what they did was this. Tell me about that Five of Swords. Oh, goodness. What did you do, character? What was the punk move here? Okay, so Magician, the Ten of Wands sideways, and the Hermit. Okay, so they basically, however they behaved, maybe they were mad, hurt, upset that there had already been silence between the two of them. That hurt was like, I feel like they manifested more silence and lack of ability to heal something because they were pissed that they already felt like they'd been left out in the cold or they'd been left out in the dark. I really feel like this was something hurt their ego. And so they either decided to act like they liked it that way anyhow. Like, I don't care. I don't care if I ever hear from you again. Like, I wonder if they did something because they had already been bent out of shape. They had already been feeling out in the cold. And they were like, well, yeah, well, guess what? I like it out here in the cold. You know what? I'm not trying to heal things with you. Definitely don't think I wanted to heal something with you. Like, that's what this feels like. That was the approach they took. See, I'm super powerful. I like not talking to you. Okay, then hang on. If you like not talking to somebody, why did you talk to them at all? Why did you even engage in battle if that was the way it was? Hi, guys. So great to see everybody. Six of Cups sideways. I keep feeling like, soulmates, you didn't tell me that you wanted me back. When you should have, you didn't call me back in. You know what I almost feel like? I feel like this person randomly wrote to somebody, reached out to somebody to pick a fight, to tell them, I just wanted to let you know you really aren't that important to me. Just wanted to let you know I definitely don't want you back. Like that's how this feels, when really this is the reality. Why didn't you call me back in? If they had been honest, maybe that would have been what they would have said is, seriously, do you not want me? Is this really the way this is ending? But I don't think they said that. I think instead what they did is they reached out to basically say something that was untrue about how great it is to not talk to you. But if that were the case, you wouldn't have reached out at all to say that. When, if I am like, I'm not going to take a sip of this tea, I don't need to pick it up and say, see this tea? I'm not going to sip it. Obviously, if I'm holding my tea mug, bringing it up to my face, it's probably because I want some of it. So why would I bring it up to my face to show it to everybody and say, see how I'm not drinking this? See? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Knight of Pentacles. I really feel like this person had this burning wound in their heart for a long time that they were hiding, and they are stubborn as a freaking rhinoceros dinosaur. This person, man, if they get hurt, oh my God, they like pack it in and they fester it and they hold on to it. And this is somebody who could wait years and then reach out just to say, hey, wow, I don't miss you. Just wanted you to know. They picked a fight out of the blue after a long period of time. In this storyline, but what is buried, what is hidden is that this has been a wound that they have carried for a long time, festering for a long dinosaurs era. When they themselves are like, why the hell didn't I say, my God, I love you and I miss you and I wanted to reconcile? This was the other road they could have taken with that Two of Wands. Instead, what I think they did is they blew up the opportunity for reconciliation. Two of Cups. Damn. Seven of Cups in the reverse. It was right there. I mean, like literally, there was so much hope. Oh my God, they could have put this thing back together. And I'm going to say he, because that's how we started out, was a him. And he knows it. Here's the worst part. He knows that there was this real chance. I mean, like, maybe even what was said is like she was really open to it. I'm going to say him and her just because that's what we got on the cards. Please remember, this could be same-sex couple, reverse gender roles. This is somebody who the two of them already obviously had some kind of, breakdown, some kind of distance, some kind of no communication. And he waited a really freaking long time to then reach out. And what he wanted was this. Can we have a reconciliation? My God, I love you. What he did instead was something mean, because he'd been hurt and he had carried that hurt for a really long time. How come she didn't reach out to me? That insult, that hurt to the pride, that pain festered and festered in a long time. And so finally he reached out, and this could have been the reconciliation moment. And I'm thinking he really knew it could have been reconciliation, because maybe she immediately reacted, responded. Maybe she even responded with something kind. And that's where he smashed it down with the, let her know that I haven't been thinking about you at all. I've been in silence all this time, manifesting other things in my life. Oh, you're bothered by what happened with us? You haven't forgotten that? Oh, funny. I've just been fine without you. I wasn't writing for any reason. I wasn't trying to tell you that I'd missed you or anything. Nasty and childish. Sorry. I'm so sorry that we keep getting stories where I'm like, I always feel like I'm riding my motorcycle in. My alter ego, Sassy Kate, comes busting into. I've done this like in 4 storylines in a row where I'm like, what? And I'm all like not cutting our characters any slack, and I'm sass pantsing my way through these stories. But it feels mean, and I don't like it. Especially when it was mean to his own self too. Him, herself, does not matter. This is so juvenile to try to trash something that you actually wanted just because your feelings are still hurt. So you play this game, but then you lose. And he knows it. So in this moment where they had this opportunity, right? She'd been stuck on him for a long time. We got the 8 of Swords. She had been even meditating, maybe wishing to hear from him. And then sure enough, with that 8 of Cups in the reverse, I would definitely say she was stuck on the idea of there's no way it can end this way, right? Like he's going to talk to me again. Something's going to happen here. Let me ask this. Why, feminine, why did you not reach out to him? No, I do not like motorcycles, Slave Princess. I do not at all. I do not. Two of Swords sideways. This is really just as, look, we got to hold all characters accountable, right? She was maybe just as like confused, blocking what she knew to be true, blocking what her heart really felt, because we have her with that Two of Swords. And even she is like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know. I'm blocking him. Am I unblocking him? I feel like these two blocked and unblocked each other. She definitely did block and unblock him, all the while meditating on, I'm not over him. God, I wish he came back. Seven of Swords. But she felt like he was a liar somehow. And maybe that was the biggest problem. It's like, I don't even think I can trust him. So why the hell do I want him back? Why do you think you couldn't trust him? Where's that coming from? Messenger of Rain. Did she think he was writing to somebody else? Other love messages? That's not, if that's what you think of somebody, then that'd be really hard to trust. But how could you not know the answer to that? Unless you're like, well, I thought that's what was going on, but then they feel like they lied to me. Oh, the devil. She's like, I firmly believe he had somebody else. He likes the attention. He always has to be messaging somebody else. Hang on. Let's get to the bottom of this right now. I know these are fictional stories, but in our fictional stories, we get to ask our characters to tell us the truth for whatever that is about. Okay. What have you got? Did you really do that? Nine of Wands. We'll see. I was wounded. Ooh, that's not a no. Were you still talking to somebody else? Six of Cups. We'll see. There was a soulmate and I was wounded. So you were still talking to somebody else? Page of Wands. Well, maybe just a little. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. And now you're all wounded, all butthurt that she won't talk to you? She thought you were a liar. Turns out you were? Really? Hang on. Really? Seven of Swords in the reverse. Not a liar. Nuh-uh. Okay, but what about the whole thing with still talking to a soulmate that you were kind of still interested in? I was just getting closure, see? We were just talking it out to end things. Bull. I'm not buying that. See, for reals. I was just still talking to an ex to just get closure. See, my crown chakra was opening up. I was just closing the chapter with somebody. You should have already had a chapter closed with somebody before you get into something with somebody else, don't you think? What do you think about that? The Moon. Well, she didn't know. She didn't. Yes, she did. That's why she thought you were a liar. Oh, I'm so over these stories. I'm so sorry. But this is so, all these blurred lines and all of these, well, if she didn't know, then it wouldn't have bothered her, but she did know, especially because the moon is also our subconscious. She inherently knew she couldn't trust you, which was entirely true. And all of the arguing around semantics, well, I wasn't really trying to get back to her. I was just closing things nicely with a soulmate that you were still that much invested in and giving to, that in fact, there was still the spark of maybe I'd still want a new beginning, but no, see, I was just healing things with her. So I wasn't really, I'm sorry, I'm not buying any of this on this character, even though they're trying to say, I realized maybe that wasn't the best way to have handled it. But, the other person didn't even know, but she did know. She did know because she sensed it. At least that's what we see here on her side. She says, I blocked him because I think he's a liar. I think he was messaging somebody else. I could see him being that kind of person. Okay, so now let me get harsh with her and say, but if that's how you feel about somebody, let him go. Let him go. How are you going to have respect for somebody that you think is toxic and is a liar? Let him go. Don't just half-heartedly block him. Let him go and move on. See, I kind of think these two are making their own hell right now because they won't just acknowledge like this is messed up and I don't want this anymore. If this is causing that much grief, that much stress, why not just close chapters? Why not just go the opposite direction, right? Because I think this is very relatable because it's very hard to let go when It's like it's such a disappointment though, but they're causing their own grief is what it feels like. And I definitely have to say, I'm sorry, but him acting like this seems way out of bounds. You get to then, when she cuts you off because you legitimately are not 100% with her, but he's like, but she didn't know that. So she cut me off. So now I'm hurt. But you were doing something that wasn't okay. But he's still arguing, no, I was just getting closure. And she didn't know I was getting closure with somebody else. I don't know how he doesn't feel bad about that. I don't know. There's something missing in the way this person, for some reason, he's able to be very cold and logical about things. Like, I was just doing what I needed to for me to get my closure, and she didn't know about it. So she had no business. Since she didn't know, she didn't have a confirmed answer that I actually was talking to somebody else, an ex of mine. She shouldn't have been able to cut me out of her life. Arguing based off of like a lawyer, with these loopholes. Well, you didn't have proof, so therefore you shouldn't have cut me off. So I have a right to be mad at you because even though I was doing the thing that you thought I was doing, you didn't have proof of it. So therefore you shouldn't have been able to put up a boundary with me because then I get to be hurt that you did that. No, that is not, that is not okay. Okay, can we just stop? Can we just go to the universe? Actually, let me change decks here and say, universe, what's the best advice for him in this present moment? We have got the Four of Cups and we got the Ace of Cups. The universe is like, sit your butt down on the timeout wall and really think about what you just did. You loved this person, right? You treated him like crap. This is a missed opportunity, and you really did love this person. So you need to think about how you treat people that you love. This is already in your past. You already blew it with her. Think about why you pruned the tree that way. Think about your actions. Think about how do you treat somebody when you love them. Are you supposed to be honest? Are you supposed to be honorable? Are you supposed to be truthful? Are you supposed to leave silence after they cut you off because you actually are doing the thing that you shouldn't be doing and then get mad at them and then write them or call them later on to intentionally cause them pain? Is that the way you show love? Is that love? Maybe you got a thing or two to learn about love. Timeout chair for them. Okay, fair enough. All right, universe, what about for her? What about for her? Ooh, she got 3 cards. Universe says, quit having him on your list, baby. Quit waiting to hear from him. You said he's a King of Wands in the reverse. He was self-indulgent. He was selfish. He was his worst version of himself. You don't want to hear from the worst version of himself. If this is somebody who did you dirty, acknowledge that and don't keep waffling back and forth about whether or not you want to let him back in. Don't wait for somebody who treated you dirty to come back in and talk to you because you didn't want the dirty treatment. Otherwise, you're kind of like allowing it back in. That's pretty on the nose. And I know I'm so sorry that this is not any softer for these characters. Please do not get offended by the fact that this is the way the storyline is coming out. This is for fictional characters. It's not about any of, the audience watching this right now. And feel free to disagree with what the universe has to say. I don't pick the cards. It's just what falls out. So these are the stories that I have to craft with. We have Empress energy sideways. And I think that the universe's final message on this is Empress up. Everybody Empress up. Empresses are going to be the energy of loving and nurturing. That begins with being able to love and nurture ourselves. It is having standards. It is recognizing, what do I need to do to make anything grow? I have to care about it. I have to care about its health, wealth, and well-being the same way I care about my own health, wealth, and well-being. If I want to nurture something, someone, a relationship, I should care about my own self, and I should also care about that individual or that relationship. I should be considerate of how would I want to be treated. That's what I have to give to somebody else. I should be considering, what makes anything feel valued and feel loved. How do we nurture something? Premature babies need to be, interacted with also in the NICU. There's been studies done on that. Baby anything needs to be handled with care. A new relationship, particularly a new relationship, needs to be handled with reverence, with care. It has to be nurtured. It has to be fed and watered. It has to be treated, consistently and honorably, like it matters. So I kind of think that we also should treat ourselves with that same energy and reverence. I deserve to take care of my needs too. I should care about my sanity. And if something's driving me bananas, maybe this isn't something I should let into my life, or try to. Don't nurture the bad ideas. Don't nurture the unhappiness, which is what he did over here. He nurtured the idea that, well, she didn't reach out to me. Then over on her side, she's been nurturing this idea of, I think he was toxic. I didn't know what to do. Should I block him? God, I wanted him back. I've been wishing he'd come back. I mean, he's toxic. I believe he's a liar. I believe he was cheating or with somebody else, but God, I wish he'd come back. And I think that the universe is just making that really important point. That's like, hey, wait a second, take care of you first. And then ask, was somebody taking care of this relationship? If you really feel like they were out there cheating and toxic, why want that back? All of this feels like it's a kind of I know it's really blunt, and I know it doesn't leave any room for like, oh, but everybody can change and this is wonderful still and they can get back together. This says, nah, like pick better, pick to focus on better. We only have, there's 8 billion plus people on this planet. You don't need to get back with somebody that you already didn't have trust with. Or if you wanted her that bad, but you couldn't bring yourself to tell her that and to do right by her, then maybe you didn't want her enough, or maybe you don't love enough, or maybe you need to work on love because you seem unable to give. That's his message there. And for her, why get hung up on this dude who already isn't good enough to like offer? He doesn't have what it takes to offer something fair and balanced. Why get hung up on him? There's other better lovers out there, right? Ones that aren't going to drive you crazy. So why not let each other go? I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like here. Am I getting this wrong? Universe, you want to round this out with a final message. 2 of Wands, they get to pick what they want, whichever path. Page of Cups, we can write a new story at any point in time, but evaluating if life is better with or without thinking about each other is maybe the thing to contemplate. Maybe I choose a different path and I really consider myself single, no longer waiting for him. The person who I already thought was a liar, why would I want him back if that's what I really believe of him? Why don't I go ahead and say, wait a second, my life is freaking fantastic without thinking about somebody like that, and I could meet somebody new. So that's a new path she could take. Why don't I focus on taking the path that brings me balance? Where is my yin yang? Where is my sense of peace? Is it when I think about them coming back in? Does that give me stress and anxiety when I hear from them and they say something mean? Does that cause me more stress and anxiety? Then maybe I move on this time. Maybe I don't respond to him. Same thing with him. If he's been festering over thinking about her, but his ego is still so big, then maybe leave her alone. Maybe go a different route. I don't know. Everything here says leave this one alone, because it does not look like it was bringing any joy or peace. Even though there was love, there's so many things still that need to be learned about how to handle love. I mean, who am I to say? Maybe this is a great example of love. I don't think so. My opinion is this is a shitty example of love. This is like anti-love, but I also think it's highly relatable because I think we've all been there. I've been in a scenario that is not quite this, but I can see elements of this. And, wanting somebody back that's no good for us. And I'm sure at times I've been the person that was no good for somebody else, and they probably were like, well, I don't know if anybody ever wanted me back that lost me, but still, we could probably say this is pretty relatable. Getting stuck in that loop of I want somebody that I actually don't trust, or, I'm frustrated, but I'm still going to reach out to them. Maybe I'm in the wrong, but I don't want to admit it. And I still actually want them, but I can't humble myself enough. I think that's very relatable. And that's what the storyline was highlighting, which is a really hard one to watch play out. But I do think that them leaving this alone and just going off and doing work on their own is kind of what the encouragement is in this storyline, so that they don't make more repetitious cycles. Like this to me is a karmic cycle, like to perfection. Like this is a karmic cycle. We're no good together. We've hurt each other, and we're going to keep doing it. And we're going to keep wanting each other while hurting each other. And we're going to keep messing with each other. Like that's like, whoa, let's break that karmic cycle. Let's move on and let's build beyond this and grow beyond this. Because they don't know that I think these two will grow together. Not in this story. Sorry. Pretty tough one. Pretty tough one. But hey, I wish these two growth. That's all I can say. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes we get a really tough one. I'll put a trigger warning on this. Hi, everybody. I have to go disappear. Annie, as I do. Sometimes, actually, I have found an even bigger mug, by the way. This is my medium-sized mug. But I have found a mug that was literally the size of my head, and I almost bought it just as a pure joke. But I thought I'll slosh tea, and it'll be hot, and it'll be all over me in a video. You guys, I got to go check. I've got meatballs in the oven right now, and I got to go check on them. Lots of love, you guys. So nice to see everyone. Bye for right now.